Everybody, it's Rax here from Rax on RC, and welcome to morning number 2 here in Malaysia, Johor Bahru at Lap Paraduse. Today we're going to be doing a track walk of this amazing track. Yesterday I came out, had some fun, and the track is super fun to drive, and today we're going to show you why. Right? So let's start straight by the straight. This is where it all starts. This is where it all happens. The straightaway, we've got 17 starting blocks on the straight, and those 17 starting blocks means 17 in the final. 17 in the final means it's going to be crazy, lots of cars on the track, you know, but it is a long track. I haven't timed a lap yet, but we will time a lap as soon as we can. So let's start walking. If we're talking about the straight is pretty normal, very smooth. And one thing I will say before we get any further, this is bitumen. You are racing on a layer of bitumen that is above a dirt layer. You can see a little pit there, but yeah, so you're racing on a layer of bitumen which is above a layer of clay, right? So yes, at the ends of jumps and stuff like that, it can get worn out if cars are nosing down in the jumps, but for the most part it's a pretty solid surface, very smooth, right? It may not look smooth, but the cars handle very nice and level over the surface. Okay, so you're not really going to get too much undulation here, right? There are differences and discrepancies, but the line is generally come in narrow, stay a little bit outside of the center, and then line yourself up for the first set of jumps. So we'll just walk it through here. Over here we've got our entrance to the pit lane. Very nice pit lane, by the way. Entrance to the pit lane. It's an elevated pit or a raised pit lane. On the other side over there is where you'll have all your marshals and your pitmen doing their work. And they will basically take care of your car. But a very, very nice pit lane. And if you look up, you'll see basically a 3-story driver's stand. Now, yesterday I got to the top of that and it felt a little bit daunting. But yes, you can see everything clearly. Everything is, it's nice, man. It's nice to have such a beautiful high driver stand. There's one of the track locals. He lives here. He takes care of the track when we're not here. But yeah, we'll walk it. I mean, today I'm very lucky to have my friend Bashir on the camera, so I don't have to hold it and talk, so that's fantastic. Bash is a local racer here anyway, or he races here more often than most, or than me anyway. Right? So we're coming to our straight. We're going to keep it wide over here. Keep it wide. You can see we've got a jump coming up, and that jump cones into the center. Okay? So it's a double. You can see where most of the people come in. If you have a look at this, the car bottoms out here, the front of the chassis scraping there, and jumping. Most people are jumping really narrow to land the downside and make the turn for what is a very nice rhythm section. Okay, so we're trying to land it over here somewhere, right? Trying to land it here. We land it here. We've got a nice turn into the rhythm section, and the rhythm section is exactly that. Keep a nice pace through the section and you should be fine. Most of the guys I saw yesterday are keeping the inside line. They're keeping the inside line about a meter, half a meter off the pipes, right? And it's softer on the inside. The bumps are less high. As you go further to the outside, the bumps get a lot higher. So if you see the difference between there and down here, there's quite a drop. And then it drops away as well. So if you stay to the inside, you have the most consistent line. Okay? Turn it over here. You've got a single roller, right? Now, the electrics might be able to make it over the top if they get it right, but I don't think the nitros will. So you've got a single roller. You can see where most people are landing it. There, everywhere you see a little bit of wear. And then you come into what is an interesting double. So it's a raised double, 2 levels. Lower level here, right? You've got your slant and then you drop down here, okay? You're coming into an off camber, right? Now this hump over here at around this apex is very off cambered, raised, and falls away. And as that falls away, what you'll find is the cars tend to want to traction roll on the outside because the grip is very high. So you end up getting at least one wheel in the air here coming around this corner if you do it too fast. Okay? And you're going to come in nice and tight if you want to, or if you can, nice and tight, and then straight on the gas again. Again, a single roller. Right? This single roller, people land in various places. From what I saw yesterday, some people were jumping it long, some people were jumping it short. Okay, I was trying to get it somewhere here, or land it on the bottom, on the down face, and then get a run up to this. Now this technically is, I think, is a triple, right? Because you can see here, where the cars are bottoming out as they go up the face of the jump. Cars are bottoming out, but this is technically where you want to jump it. And it's a nice, smooth, clean, straight, steep jump face, which gives you heaps of elevation for you to make what is the second part of the jump and then the landing area. Okay, so it's really handy having these stripes here because it gives you a representation of where you should be aiming for. Okay, we landed here and then we get into this section here. Now yesterday I spun the car so many times on this section that, yeah, and then I remember Bash saying to me, just take a leap of faith and turn the wheel, right, on gas. So we're coming down this, we get to the dip here, the car sort of wants to bottom out under acceleration. We come into here, it's off cambered, slants this way, slants down to the left, very steep on the inside, and it just gets slightly less steep as you go further to the outside. But the line is, and this I learned from taking a leap of faith, keep the gas on at least 3/4 to half, turn the wheel, let the car turn, because like I said, you're going to have so much front end grip on this track, it's crazy. Let the car turn, make the jump somewhere here, right, and land it there. Now, a lot of the time yesterday, including one time where I made the jump somewhere here, the car, because I was on throttle and in the middle of a turn, started to drift out in the air, land here and hit that. Now, you can tell why they have that there, because it's jungle below that, right? So that saves the cars from going into the swamp, right? Now this here, you'll notice, has many parts to it. It goes up, down, up, and then straight and flat, and then up again. So let's walk this. Most of the people are keeping it towards the center. We're keeping it towards the center, and you can see where a lot of the cars are coming in. Where you start to see the white stuff, it's a lot of the black of the bitumen or the tar layer is starting to go away. A lot of cars are keeping it around, roughly about there. This is on cambered. So come in, give it gas. It's on cambered, so the camber will actually help the car grip. Right? The car tends to get a little bit of elevation here, or a little bit of lift, so you can get a little bit of air there. Land it, get back on the gas. While I'm here, I'll just do these guys a favor, do some track cleaning. Right? And we've got our resident escort here. Again, here the car's going to get some elevation, some air. Take it. It's a safe corner. It's fast and it's safe. Land it here. Roughly when you're landing about here. Now, just for a case in point, if you have a look down, you can see how much elevation we've gone up. We've gone up about 3.5 meters, would you say, Bash? We've gone up in elevation about 3.5 meters to nearly 4 meters from where we started at the pit lane. Okay? We've gone up that much. So that's how much is the change in elevation. Right? You're going to land the downside. Right? And as we look at this downside, you can see where people are coming in. So the line is to come in here and try to hug the piping. Okay? You can see where most of the people are coming in. But this is a nice one because you can come in here and it's going to be roughly 3/4 to half gas. Roll the downside. Just let it come. Just keep going. Stay on the gas. Right? Stay on the gas and turn. The car will turn. There's so much grip here that the car will turn. You can let the car drift out if you want a little bit. You still won't lose that much time. But most people are trying to hug the inside and keep it going to get to this double. Now this double, I try to keep it, take my jump roughly here. This will be the furthest I try to take my jump, right here. I want to be inside of this, okay? And being inside of that is going to allow you to land the double somewhere here. Now, it is hot and sweaty, and as you can see, every now and again, I'm wiping the sweat away from my face. It's humid, it's warm, it's Malaysia, and we're glad to be here. So, we're landing it here. Up here, make the dip. Have a look at this, very steep. We're coming in all the way up here, trying to turn on the apex. Some of the lines I saw yesterday were people were coming up to the flat section and then turning down that way. A lot of the guys were actually over jumping, landing there and then trying to turn out here. Lots of time lost. Because over here, you don't just go uphill, you drop downhill as well. Okay, so it'd be a nice idea to make the turn somewhere there near the apex, and then you've got the benefit of rolling the downhill. Okay, you're going to roll the downhill, and as you roll the downhill, get back on the gas. You've got a very interesting double here. This jump face is inconsistent, or it's consistent, but it has different facets. Jump the outsides, the car stays nose up. Jump the inside, the car goes nose down. Jump the middle, the car goes nose down. Jump the outside, the car stays flat. Okay, so there's 3 different areas or facets to this jump face. Pick your spot and make your run. Over here, somebody obviously didn't quite make it, and they put a hole in the track for us. So while we're here, we'll just give it a quick clean up. We'll probably come through with the broom later. Somebody obviously didn't make it. Now that's what I was telling you about earlier. They're saying it's just a thin layer of bitumen and tar, and then you've got the clay underneath that. So yeah, just careful how you land. Okay, we land here and we got another fast double. This is the full throttle area. Full throttle, gas it. This jump again, this jump face, very slight variation, but mostly uniform. Very slight variation. Mostly uniform, nice and steep. It's going to give you all the elevation you need. Right? This landing area, you see, it's rolled over. Right? The landing area where you want to land is roughly around where the white line is. But if you come up here, you'll launch from about here. If you come up here and roll 1, 2, you'll launch. But if you go over the top, it's almost always a safe landing. Right? Land it and then make your way towards the next apex. Now if you thought we were done with the elevation, no, we're not yet. Right? This next apex takes us up the hill again to roughly the same elevation we were at when we were on top of the first hill. Right? Off cambered, flat on the top, so you can come in fast, stay inside, hug the line out. Okay? You can see here where this patchwork's been done. That's probably where a lot of the people have been hitting the jump. So that's taken a bit of patchwork in there to get that fixed up and ready for the event. Again, single roller, land it, try land the downside. I found a benefit yesterday to not taking that too far. The benefit was the car stayed nice and steady through the rest of the corner, up the hill and onto the corner, right? So a lot of people were jumping, and you can see they were landing somewhere here. Some of them were taking the long jump, like getting as far off that as they can, landing it, and then gassing it to get up the hill. Whereas I found a lot of benefit in trying to just land the downside and drive it down the hill into this low section and up the hill into the high section where we have a double. Now, driving in this here, again, try to keep it inside, because surprisingly, even though this is bitumen, the further to the outside you go, the less grip you have. Okay? So try to keep it to the inside, no more than, halfway out to the center. On the gas, you're on the gas all the way up here. Now, a lot of people will take some time here, get off the gas, turn the car to shape it for the next jump. Okay? 2 things I learned yesterday from this. Jump on the inside, and there's a very likely chance you land on the blue part. Right? You land on the blue, rescuable in the chuggy. The buggy might be a little bit different. You land on the blue, you go down, you're into the wilderness. Try and jump it roughly about here. Your car's going to drift to the outside. So you want to land, take it off about somewhere here. Your car's going to slightly drift because you'll be on gas on a corner. Landing it somewhere here where you see somebody's been nosing the dive. Now what they're doing is they're landing out wide and then driving back to the inside of the next corner. Okay? Again, off camber, it sort of bowls. It doesn't bowl out completely, but it's off cambered and it gets slightly less gradient as it gets to the piping. You're going to come in here. This is a jump on a single roller, right? Your car will get air here. Don't be scared. Let the car land. It will usually land somewhere here. Don't be scared to take that at pace. Let the car land, and then 3/4 throttle to half throttle, drive it down the pipe. Yeah, you can see all these markings are from where cars have been coming down here, sometimes on their roof, sometimes on their wheels, because it can be a bit scary. So people tend to brake in the air, and when braking, they nose the car, roll it, slide it down. Okay, that's a patch point over there, but again, it's still a very smooth track. Drive it into the apex here, another single roller. A lot of patchwork over here. As you can see, people are obviously coming out wider and taking that. Single roller, and which gives you, you take it there and you've got a straight line to the next apex. Okay, take it roughly there, straight line to the next apex. You can see where some patchwork's gone in, but again, it's not really making too much of a difference to the way the car rides over the bitumen. Keep this line nice and tight. Keep it nice and tight, enter fast, roll the sag car. As you exit over the apex, back on the gas, drive the car slightly out. Slightly out, you're going to drive the car, and then you're going to bring the car to this part of the jump phase. Now you can see there was a lot of patchwork going up here. They've obviously reshaped the face of this jump. A lot of patchwork went on here to try and fix this jump. Right? Single roller. A lot of people are jumping it, landing it somewhere here. Because as you make your line, you're coming basically this way, landing it here to the apex of the next one. The next corner, again, goes into a double this time. So there you roll down the hill into a single. Here you're rolling down, coming into the apex, and you've got probably a more technical jump than it looks like. Okay, because you can't have full throttle, you can't have half throttle, and you can't have a quarter throttle. You've got to have somewhere between a quarter and half. And that's going to give you enough gas to land it somewhere here. Okay, so just pop it over there. You don't want to jump it, you want to pop it over there on the jump face, land it here and turn tight to the apex. Okay, turning tight to the apex, and as somebody said to me yesterday, these are all hundredths of a second savings. You go a little bit wider, you can make it. It's not going to upset things too much. Stay close to the apex, you're going to save a bit of time. Right? Here, again, weird. It looks like a single roller, right? But if you look at it, it has a similar characteristics to some of the what we call doubles or triple over there, in that it goes down to a point here and then it drops down again. Okay? So take your jump roughly to the inside, slightly closer to the middle, land it on the down face. You land it on the down face, you can turn nice and tight into the apex here, and then you're back on the straight. Right? And that is a lap of Lap Paradise here in Johor Bahru, Malaysia. Now, everybody's starting to turn up, so we're going to start getting ready. You'll probably hear some engines starting up in a little while. I'll get more video for you as soon as I can. But I'd like to take this time to thank Bash for doing the camera work for me and for being a great host this weekend and showing me around and driving me about, picking me up from the airport. Thank you for that. And yeah, just everybody here, we're looking forward to a great weekend of racing, right? It's the One Championship. It's a race that commemorates friendship. So we are all here having a great time. It's a different format than normal racing. Very Formula One style. I'll explain the format a little bit later on. So guys, thank you for watching. Take care. Stay tuned for more updates from Lap Paradise for the One Championship race.